Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Howerton again, and I thought it might be fun today to make another book. This way we're going to do a little bit different than we did our counting book. If you remember, we did each of the pages separately, and then we made our book. This is called a journal, and just because it's May and it's only a few days into May, I thought it might be fun to call this one May. It's my journal about the month of May. And so we'll be writing some things in it. And today we're just going to talk about how to make the book. Remember last week I showed you I have this little notebook from Target, I think it is. Yeah, it's from Target. But any kind of notebook will do that has pages. You can just tear out some pages. That's what I did. I tore out, I think, 10 pages. And then remember how I showed you we cut this part off with the scissors because we don't want it on the end of our book. See how nice and straight that looks where I cut it? And then I put 3 staples in it, okay? And then I'll leave this on the cover in the beginning of the video so you can see it again to copy it. But now we're going to decorate our journal, because one thing I like is pictures in my books, don't you? And so today I'm going to make a spring picture. And let's see what colors. I've already used my colors to write my words. My journal. And then I wrote the word May, and I put a fancy bubble around it. It almost looks like a flower, doesn't it? We could actually color it in as a flower. And I thought, since May is a lot about springtime and flowers, that we might make a little flower garden at the bottom of our book. And so I'm going to start with my green, and I'm going to make some grass. And I think we did some grass before when we did our journal writing, just a drawing. Remember, we did a drawing and some sentences about a bunny. Do you remember that? We made some grass on our paper. So we'll just make some grass, because I don't know about you, but everywhere I look, everything is beautiful and green. And what else I noticed is lots of, can you guess? Flowers. Lots of flowers in all kinds of colors. So we're just going to make a little flower garden here on the cover. And I'll start, I think, with some stems. Remember, the stems are the part that hold the flower up. So I'll just put a few stems on here, and going in different directions, because if you've noticed, flowers go in all kinds of directions. And I think I'll put a little leaf on each one, or maybe even 2 leaves. So let's see here. Whoops, get down there, you. There's a little leaf on that one. There's a little leaf on that one. There's a little leaf on that one. See how we do? Leaves are super easy. I'm going to make my stem go down in the grass a little bit more. A little leaf on this one. A little leaf on this one. And maybe even an extra leaf. If you notice on flowers, sometimes they have 1 leaf, sometimes they have a lot of leaves. So you can just do however you want on your flower. So there's all my stems and all my leaves. Now I get to pick my colors, and I'm going to pick some pretty colors. I'm going to pick red, because I really like red. I'm going to pick purple, if this is my right purple. I don't know if it is or not, but I'll use it anyway, because I like bright flowers. I think I have some blue here, or I'm going to find that really pretty blue. Remember that one that's called blue-green? It's kind of like turquoise. That's one of my favorite colors. And how about this one that's kind of pinkish. It's kind of purple and kind of pink. So let's see, I have 4 crayons. How many flowers did I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll just use these same colors again. Or maybe I want to use a yellow. I'm going to use a yellow and an orange, because I really like orange flowers too. This way I have 6 crayons and 6 flowers. So I'm going to start with my first one, which is red. And there's several ways you can make a flower. Sometimes it's fun just to make some things that look kind of like bubbles around here. They're called petals. And then maybe in the middle you would have, let's say you would leave that white And then you would just color the little petals red. See what I mean? So that's one way to do a flower. You like it? Remember, when we draw things, it's almost like we're drawing little cartoons. They don't have to be completely realistic, like a real flower, but it looks like a cute flower that you and I can draw, and we know it's a flower. Okay, the next color I have here is my purple. And let's see, what's another way? Oh, you know what? Another kind of flower that's really pretty in spring is called a tulip. And a tulip is like this. It's like a U. Oh, this turned out to be a blue instead of a purple. They tricked us, didn't they? See how the paper looks purple? But look how blue that looks. I like it. And then on top of the U shape, we make little zigzags, kind of like that. And then we color that in. That is another pretty flower called a tulip. Tulip. All right, I have another, let's see, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to use yellow right now. And another way to make a flower is just to use circles. Remember how we've used circles before? Just nice, round, hard circles. Because some flowers, unless you look at them up close, they just look like a blotch of color. And so that's what we did there. We made a circle. Now we have a little pink flower, and I don't have too much room here. So I think I might make, let's see, I might make another one of these with the petals. This looks similar to my red, but do you see how it's sort of pink? And I'm going to color it all in this time, okay? Coloring it all in. So you can see that it doesn't matter how you choose to make your flowers, they still look like flowers, right? Even if they're different or even if they're all the same. Now this color I thought was going to be turquoise, but this color almost looks like turquoise. So let's see what we have here. Let's see here. I'm going to go for my petals again. Petals are my favorite. So it is similar. As you can see, it's similar to the tulip. And so I'm going to make a little center. The center is where the special seeds are that the bees come to and get their pollen. And that's how they make honey, is using the center part of our flowers. Okay, so there's another one. And sometimes the center is a different color. So let's try that. Oops, I'll put a little bit of a pink center in here. How's that? Okay. And my last flower is going to be orange. And again, I like orange and I like petals. Oops, sorry, I got a little bit off my track there. So there's my petals, there's my center. I'm going to color it in, and I'm going to leave the center white for this one too. But as you can see, this is our May journal. Isn't it pretty? I like it so far. There's other things you can add to a picture like this, and you know, because we've talked about it before. When you make a scene, this is kind of like a scene, you could actually draw the sun up here, and you could color it in. You could add some oops, I got out of my lines, didn't I? You can add some rays of sunshine, like this. Rays of sunshine coming out of your sun. That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Looks like the sun is sparkling in the sky. And then another thing that kind of reminds me of spring is a butterfly. So I might draw a little butterfly over here. The butterfly starts out kind of like a worm. So let's start by making a little worm. Worm. And butterflies also have little antennae. Let's give him antennas. And I'm going to color in his little body. So a butterfly starts out as a caterpillar. You knew that, right? And then they go into a special little, tiny little place. They build around them. They curl up really tiny. And while they're in there, some magic happens and they become butterflies. And so then when they come out, they still have this little caterpillar body, but they also have wings. And often their wings are kind of like this. Does that look like a number to you? Does that look like number 3? Do you remember on our, see the number 3 right here on our book? See it? See it right there? That almost looks like a 3. And then when we do the other side, it looks like a letter, what? A letter what's kind of just like a backwards 3. It's a backwards 3 and a forwards 3. And then when you color your butterfly, you have to remember there's a special kind of a pattern on a butterfly called symmetry. Can you say that big word? Symmetry. What it means is the same on each side, okay? So I'm going to color a little design over here, just like a little bit of a circle, and I'm going to color another little circle over here that looks just about like it. See how they're similar? And then the same down here. I'll draw a little circle, kind of bubble down here, and I'll do the same thing right here. Okay? Now you can again use any color you want. I might even do another one here in the middle, only because there's room. And remember, whatever I do on one side, I do on the other side. All right, now I'm going to start using some of my colors to fill in. I'm going to use this really beautiful color down here. If I color it blue on this side, I have to also color it blue on this side. Now I have those tiny ones. Let's see what I will use on that. I think I might use orange. So I'm going to use orange for my little bubbles. They're kind of small for me to find. There we go. There's one. And there is the other one. Okay, how does that look? And then on the top, let's see. Maybe we'll use our pink, our bright pink that we found. And then I'm going to color it in, color that bubble in. And then I have to do the same thing on this side and color it in. And then if you'd like, you can take one of your other crayons that you like, maybe this turquoise that looks kind of like the blue we have already, and we can just color it in very, very lightly. Very, very lightly. See how pretty that looks? And then now that we're finished, we have a beautiful spring picture that reminds us we are in the month of May. Okay, there we go. That's about it for the, so there's our pretty picture of our journal. And then the next time we come back, we'll read a story. We haven't read a story in a while. We've been busy making things. We'll read a story, and then we will write in our very first journal page. And I will tell you some rules about journal. There's really only one big rule about journal, but I'll tell that to you the next time we meet. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.